Welcome to our new show, Enid On The Move, which is about celebrating the incredible progress, growth, and the positive changes happening right here in Enid. We're going to be talking about infrastructure improvements, the progress in economic development, and everything that's dedicated to improving our city. I'm your host, Derrick, the Public Relations Director, and with me today is the Assistant City Manager, Scott Morris. Always good to see you.
That's right. Glad to be here today. Beautiful weather that we're having. We're going to have some fall changes later on in the week.
Yes.
Looking forward to a little cool down. It's been warm. So,
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I really love about Enid is just what we do in our downtown, trying to get back to our downtown roots. And I know last weekend there was a Tri-State Music Parade downtown. So I remember I was a band student and I loved to do marching competitions and be in parades and things like that. And, Tri-State is something that Enid has hosted for like 90-something years. It's an amazing heritage that we have and that a lot of people have enjoyed. And I know that there's been some bigger heydays, back before even I remember it. But I'm glad that it's still happening and still going on, and had a parade just last weekend downtown. Yeah. So speaking of that, that's one of my favorite things about our community.
Yeah.
Is how we take time to honor our veterans, to take time to honor people who have gone before us and done great things. One of my favorite parades is the one that we did in September, the Cherokee Strip Parade. Mm-hmm. And almost always we have some Vance cadets that are marching through, and people give standing ovations every time. Love that about our community. And so one of the great things about our community that's upcoming is Veterans Day. We have in Enid Veterans Week. Some people only have Veterans Day, not in Enid. We celebrate an entire week for veterans, and so there are all kinds of excellent activities going on, starting on Saturday, November 4th at the Oakwood Ball. There's going to be a military museum that is there, food truck festivals. There's actually going to be a car show inside Oakwood Mall on Saturday, November 4th. So there's great opportunity there to go check it out, kick it off. We've got our kickoff ceremony on Monday the 6th at the Stride Bank Center. Please come join us. It'll be great. There will be a tree planting ceremony on Tuesday the 7th, and we're going to do a free luncheon for veterans at the First Baptist Church on Wednesday the 8th. So if you are a veteran, if you would like to participate in that, then please come to the First Baptist Church at 401 West Main. And then there's a Sarah Evans concert Thursday. Friday night, this is really neat. There's a Legacy Ball and Award ceremony. So I've been to this the last couple years, and it's such a great thing to go to. I know this year there should be a couple of World War II veterans that are 101 years old at this award ceremony. It's a special way to recognize the achievements and the honor and the sacrifice that these guys have given, and just to be in the presence of some of these World War II veterans is amazing. And then there's going to be a live band, a World War II swing band called Talk of the Town, and there'll be a dance, and it's free to the public, so come to Stride Bank ceremony on Friday the 10th at 6:30. And then on Saturday, November 11th, is our Veterans Day Parade. So there's a lot of events going on with that. Probably all of the events just at the parade would take up another entire flyer. So come out and support these different events and help honor those veterans that have served so well. So that's it. There's just a whole week full of opportunities for you to get involved and do that. So I just invite all of you. Please come. It'll be worth it, and you'll be glad you did.
Yeah, must give kudos to our Wood Ring Wall of Honor director, Elaine Johns. She does a good job, along with the Ambucks, who's helping to do the Veterans Parade this year. One thing I can say about Oklahoma especially, and the city of Enid, really take care of their veterans. That's right. One thing. I've been in Mississippi and other states, and it's just, Oklahoma's just top tier.
I mean, you've got public servants like Elaine Johns. She's out there, Elaine Johns. She's working really hard on this. Commissioner Keith Saragusa. Mm-hmm. He's a very this is very important to him, and he's in charge of the tree planting ceremony that we're going to be having. And then our police chief, Brian Skaggs, and the noon ambucks is doing this Veterans Day parade on Saturday, and I know Chief Skaggs is heavily involved in that, as are the ambucks. So there's a lot of community leaders that are taking charge and that really want to emphasize this, and it's great for our community. So come out there and show your support.
Yes. Speaking of progress in Enid, we just want to remind everyone that the mayor has his show also bi-weekly, or I'll say every 2 weeks, called Ask Mason. If you have any questions you want to ask the mayor, email those to askmason at enid.org, and we will make sure we get those questions to him and answer your questions. So that's always, good to have transparency in government, and he does a great job since he's been elected this year to ensuring that we talk with the public, have that two-way communication.
Absolutely.
Yes. Want to update everybody about the pool, or rather the splash pads. The splash pads are closing Monday, October 16th for the season. But right now you can go from 10 a.m. to I think 9 p.m. if I'm not mistaken, 7 days a week at the two splash pads to get your last splashes, because the weather is changing.
That's
Getting
true.
a little cooler and cooler. Sometimes at night it's a little cold.
Yeah,
in
the
my
lows
house.
this coming week are in the 40s.
Yeah.
You won't want to be at the splash pad on that morning.
Yeah. So just want to update everybody on that. We're doing so many improvements in infrastructure, water infrastructure that is, and just want to let everybody know from August 15th, which was about a month or two ago, all the way up to January 15th, they're supposed to be working on East Oklahoma Avenue, and that's going to be a water line relocation from South 7th Street, I believe, to South 16th Street.
That's right.
Yes.
This is going to be so good. It'll be brand new main. It's going to really increase the fire flow capabilities that we have in that neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So an excellent program. Everybody will get new water meters. There'll be a new main in there. It's great. So that's a very good improvement that we're doing.
And if you can see on the slide, also on the second one, there's the Meadows South Drainage Channel construction, and that's over there by Indian Hills. Is that the name of the suburb? By Cleveland. Well, anyway,
The Meadows.
Yeah.
And if you go to the trailhead and go west on the trail across Cleveland towards Garland, you know what we're talking about. There's right there on the north side of the road. There's a drainage channel that's just an earthen berm, and it will be made into concrete and be able to get that water moving through the channel into Boggy Creek where it needs to go. So there are some times where that has been stagnant, and nobody likes it when there's standing water and a chance for more mosquitoes. So we're going to handle that problem and redo that entire drainage channel. And so especially if you're a trail goer, just be careful and know that there's going to be some construction going on for a while. But every good improvement, we have to just suffer through just a little bit of inconvenience, but we get to the other side and things are so much better. So just have a little patience with us, and we're going to continue to make things better.
Yep. Speaking of, last week there was a demolition for the old, bridge by Hayes Elementary. Let's talk about that. There were some questions online about why was it taken down, and are we going to build another one? Can you comment on that for me?
Well, I'll tell you what, sometimes we have to take a look and be realistic with ourselves. And that bridge has become very unsafe. And so it needed to be taken down. And by current and modern engineering methods and standards, to build another bridge back like that would be very expensive, considering right on the trail system, not very far from that at all to the north, is a very nice bridge on the trail system that crosses that channel. So for the time being, we needed to just do the right thing and remove the safety issue at hand. Mm-hmm. And we can always discuss it in the future, but I know that there is a nice crossing just to the north. It might be a minor inconvenience to walk a little further out of the way, but that's the plan for now.
Right. Well, thank you. In other news, traffic alert here, we have some roads that are in construction for mostly the concrete work that is on East Willow. Now, the Oklahoma Department of Transportation is handling that on East Willow Road from North 10th Street to North 16th Street for those road repairs.
just pay attention to the signs. I was traveling down that road eastbound not too long ago, and they had, I'm not sure if that's the way it is right now or by the time you're listening to this, but they had the eastbound lane open and the westbound lane completely closed.
Yeah.
Except for when I went through it, somebody traveling westbound did not realize that it was one way and they were coming through. So just be very observant when you get around that area, and be looking. There may be a one-way situation where you just need to avoid that section of Willow altogether, depending on which direction that you're going.
Okay, very good. Also included in those, we have South 10th Street that's going to be closed from East Garriott to East Park Avenue, and that's also for some concrete repairs.
Just know that on 10th Street there, throughout the next year, you're going to see a lot of press releases on 10th Street. We're going to be working to rebuild that road in different sections. There's a water line replacement going on part of 10th, and then we're going to be starting our roadway reconstruction. So there's a lot of things going on 10th, but when we get finished, it's going to have new sidewalks, new roads. It's going to be great. So we, sometimes people are challenging us to make sure we are doing improvements equally on different sides, north, south, east, west of Enid. And this is definitely an arterial on the east side of Enid that's well deserved. It needs to be done, and so we're moving forward with that. So like I said before, be a little patient with us as we work through these, but big things are happening in Enid.
Yep, and the last one I wanted to mention was the West Iowa Avenue and South Monroe Street intersection that we're working on also for concrete repairs. And this is all to make Enid a better place, better driving place, a better place to be. Okay. When it comes to positions and careers, you can always go to enid.org/careers for our positions that we have open. Right now, we have 2 part-time positions, one at the library, which is really needed, one with EPTA. And then we have 2 full-time positions. We have the equipment operator for the streets department and a call taker dispatcher for the 911, which those are very important.
Derrick, I know we both work for the city of Enid, but I just have to say to those listening out there, the benefits that we have working for the city, this really is a great place to work, and working for the city of Enid does give us some very competitive benefits. And so you see those pays, and we're trying to be very competitive with our pay, but we also have excellent medical benefits. We have 401k. We still have a defined pension plan, and so there's a number of very valuable benefits that we have. And so whenever you see these postings, if you're watching and you have people that you're thinking about that need a job, have them, instead of just look at that one number, also consider the excellent benefits that we have, including 12 paid holidays a year. So how about that?
Yep. So if you're interested in those positions, or have a friend that you may be interested, tell them to go to enid.org/careers. Now, I know we have a study session coming up tomorrow. Can you tell us what's on that? I know we have a couple things about Call Lake.
That's right. We're going to get an update on the finances for Call Lake. So we'll get one of those. We're going to have an update from Elaine Johns, and she's going to go over this very thing that I talked about with you all. So that's going to be on the study session. And then there's a few more items as well. I know there will be one on vaping and nicotines in parks.
Yes.
And then I believe there's a study session item on, what's the fourth one? I can't see it on the screen here. But is it the historic preservation? There's actually 5. There's one on historic preservation commission and some of the ordinance for that, and then one on the Construction Board of Appeals. And what these are is making some changes to how many people might be on the board, or term limits on the board.
What type of person.
Right, what type of person. So both of these, especially Construction Board of Appeals, we really don't call those guys into action very often. And the issue is that because the Construction Board of Appeals deals with state code that has to do with manufacturer specs on HVAC units, electrical issues, things in the trades, like plumbing. We really want to have some trade professionals that are on those boards, and since we don't call them into action that often, what happens is some of those board members, maybe their term limit has expired, and we need to make the board. So we're trying to make some changes so we ensure that we have the right people there and we can get a meeting to happen. Same thing with historical preservation. There are some, it asks for a historian. How many historians do you know? So it's we're trying to make it a little more accessible. And also, if you have an item, if you live in a historical district and you need to do an item on your house, we want to try to make more opportunities for people to serve and make it so that we can have a quorum and we can have a meeting and do business without a delay unnecessarily. So
very good, very good. And also, including after the study session, we'll have a commission meeting. We have a couple things on there, I'm guessing with colleague as well, or?
Yeah, the main things outside of our consent agenda, there will be a community development item. There is a developer that would like to build some duplexes over south of Enid High School on West Moore Street. And that's been through the Metropolitan Area Planning Commission, and he had a preliminary site plan that was approved, and he had some zoning changes, including a planned unit development, and the MAPC recommended that be sent to the Mayor and Board of Commissioners for approval, and so that's what's happening. There was an appeal for that, and then we'll go over the zoning changes with Mayor and Commissioners and see if they will approve that new development. But what that will mean for Enid is that will mean 28 new duplexes and 56 new places to live for people. And I know for a lot of people that are looking for a newer place to live, sometimes it's a challenge in Enid, and our housing study has definitely identified that. So this is the developer's mechanism to come in there and make that happen. So that's going to be on there. And then we've got one more item in administration that is basically an appeal. There was someone that had a house that we had in a dilapidated state, and a few months ago, about 75 days ago, the Mayor and Commissioners gave him an extra 60 days. So this is a checkup on that to see if he's made enough progress to stay out of a dilapidated state. So then we have consent items and claims. That's about it. So join us at 6:30. If there's something you want to talk about, you can always sign up for public comment and tell us what you think.
Yeah, very good. Good information. And then, of course, coming up Monday the 16th will be the MAPC meeting at 6 p.m. So that will be the next meeting that will be coming up. That's public. I want to let everybody know in the public that we do have a new app called City Connect. It's open to the public. All you have to do is download the app, and that QR code on your screen, you can scan that with your cell phone and actually go to that website or that app. You can go to cityconnect.org, or you can download the app in your Google Play or Apple stores. And on there, we'll be sending out water outages, street closures, and then events like Stride Bank Center events, other events in the community. Our Visit Enid team will be have a feed on there as well to tell you of upcoming things that are going on in the city of Enid. This is also an internal app that we use for our city employees to talk between us. You want to talk any more about it?
It's just a different way to communicate,
yes.
And I know that sometimes it can be frustrating for organizations to try to get information out to the public, and we might be trying to do a good thing like rebuild 10th Street, and we put something out on Facebook, and people will have all kinds of negative things to say about us trying to make our community a better place to live. And so City Connect is another way that we can get good information out and tell the story that we want to tell.
Yeah. There are many ways to communicate, and people are using various social media, emails, all kinds of ways. So we're trying our best to reach out to them in the way that they receive their information, as well as like the old traditional news releases in the newspaper and that sort of thing. So also just wanted to remind everybody as well, See Click Fix, we have that app out there. If you want to report a pothole, if you see a damaged sign, a street light that is inoperable, stray animals, any of that, if you want to even do a bus ride, get a bus ride, cancel a bus ride, our Enid Transit, let us know by going to See Click Fix.
I had someone that should be on the show as a testimonial, but I was having a conversation with them last week, and they said, "Man, I put y'all to the test on that. I went around and found some potholes and put it in See Click Fix, and I'm telling you, within 1 or 2 days, they were filled and fixed."
Very good.
So it's always good to hear a testimonial like that.
Yes. And just remember, as always, you can connect with us in so many variety of ways with social media, our Facebook, our YouTube, Instagram. We have Twitter, which is now called X, our Roku channel, and our Amazon Fire TV channel. We're on all those social media platforms just to get the information out to the public. So, but before we leave, I want to give a shout out to our video crew and our staff, Dane Tate and Caleb Barber, for being behind the scenes as well as setting up of our new scene.
They built this really cool sign
Yes,
here. And
they do a very good job in this department, and I just want to give out that shout out to them. Thank you for all that you do for us. And meet us, public, you meet us again here in 2 weeks. And we'll be back on Enid on the Move to show you more progress in the city. Until next time, have a great day.